Hey guys, this is your girl Tara with Coaching for Life. So today's video is on the topic of dealing with feeling negative, or maybe a friend or a family member is feeling negative and they just want to complain. And that's where they're at right now. They don't want to shift. They don't want to talk about solutions. They don't want to do any of that stuff. They just want to complain because that's where they're at. So first thing on that topic of being where you are at the moment, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we are just feeling a certain way and there's just no getting around it. We just need to feel the way we're feeling at the moment, so that way we can be genuine with ourselves, and then we can shift into the next feeling or the next stage of working through the concern, the issue, or the thing that's displeasing to us. So that's the first thing. No shaming about emotions. All emotions are valid because they're giving us an indicator of where we are in alignment with our core self or our true values. So after we've looked at it that way, the next question is, have you ever been in a situation where a friend, a family member, or somebody you know, maybe a work associate or whoever it might be, is just having a rough time and they just start complaining? And as you start listening and it goes on, you start to feel kind of worn down, or it's feeling very negative. And your first thought is, I want to shift this, or I want to say something positive. When you try to do that, you might notice that the person is resistant to that. What does that mean? Well, the person might get agitated with you for trying to make a suggestion or to try to resolve their issue for them. They might get, they might get agitated and try to shift back into the negative energy if you shift away from it. Or they may just get to a place where they actually just call you out and say, hey, I'm really mad about this right now. You're supposed to be my friend. Why don't you support me? Then you're in this place at that moment where you're feeling bad because you're trying to be supportive, but it doesn't seem like anything you do is helping. So here's the second thing. Maybe think about, instead of trying to create resolution for the person, how can I best support the person for what they need at the moment? So I was thinking about this the other day. It's just one of those things that just kind of crash landed on my virtual dashboard. Just a thought that came to me, because I know I've dealt with this before, and I'm sure many of you have dealt with this topic before, because everybody feels negative at times and we all need to vent. So here's another question for you. If you do not agree with the things that your friend, family member, partner, whoever it may be, that is feeling negative is saying, does that mean that you cannot listen, nod your head in agreement, and be supportive? That's a personal question for each of us to answer. For some of us, we feel very emotional about being in agreement, or even nodding our head to things, that words or vibrations that don't resonate with us, and maybe it's something that you can't do. But even just the act of just sitting and listening silently without saying a word does wonders for a person. Because 9 times out of 10, when a person is angry and at a root source emotion like that, it's because they feel like they have not been heard. And I think each and every one of us has experienced that in this life, where we felt like we haven't been heard fully. And so it makes us feel some kind of way inside. And so it is a human emotion. It is a human thought process to want to feel heard and acknowledged, because it is one of our rights. It's something that we're born with. And so when that right is not being acknowledged, it's very natural to feel an emotion that lets us know that something is out of alignment and doesn't feel okay. So just keep that thought in mind too. Something that I've definitely worked through myself with friends and family members, and also myself when I was feeling negative and felt like I just wanted to complain. And I didn't want to shift. I just wanted to feel the emotion I was feeling at that moment. And so it caused me to be negative. These days, I try to utilize a process to assist myself with that. But in the meantime, for a person who's not used to using processes and maybe isn't in that mindset as of yet, trying to force them to shift when they're not ready can create more issues for the person, for yourself, and possibly for the relationship. The best thing we can do, especially in times like these that we live in, when we have a friend or family member that is feeling overwhelmed or overburdened, and maybe they just need to vent, is just be a listening ear. It doesn't mean you have to agree with anything they're saying. It doesn't mean that you have to hold the same sentiments. And it doesn't mean that you're being negative by listening. It just shows a level of support that your friend, family member, spouse, associate will definitely think about in the future when they think about your friendship and your relationship. The fact that you're willing to sit and listen to what they have to say and doing it in a state of non-judgment. So I hope this video was helpful for you today in case this is something that you personally have been dealing with. I know this is something I've dealt with many times, and it just occurred to me to share this thought with you today. So definitely, if there's somebody out there that needed to hear this thought today, I hope that this resonated with you, and I hope that it's helpful for you. Please continue to check out our YouTube channel as we continue to post videos on hopefully helpful topics for you. We are working on a new website for Coaching for Life. So stay tuned as we get that up. We're going to have a blog, and we're going to be reposting some information that we feel is very pertinent for our community and keeping you up to date on current events. We also are going to be having some group meditations and group mindfulness sessions coming up that people in the Coaching for Life community or people who are new to our community can sign up and join at a very low cost or at a donation-based fee. So we want to try and reach out to as many people as possible. Although right now we're only able to do that virtually due to the current state of things, we still are able to have a very powerful effect on one another energetically when we set the intention to connect. Once again, this is your girl Tara with Coaching for Life. It's so beautiful to be here with you. Hope you're having a beautiful evening wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.